What is going on, people? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways we all self-sabotage. Every single one of us, every single person that I know, including myself, we've gone through this process. Now, not only do you go through this process once, but I feel like every time you make massive changes in your life, you can easily repeat this process again and again and again. So it's about becoming aware of what those patterns look like so you can stop them from, instead of taking weeks to even see what is going on. So before we begin, I want to remind you to do what? Take a deep breath in with me right now, and a deep breath out. The first thing we all do when it comes to self-sabotage is we make plans, yet we do nothing about them. This is probably one of those things that every single one of you guys have done. Every single human being you know has done this, right? Let me just quickly fix that. Yes. So every single human being you know has done this. Every single one of us, we literally make a plan and we don't stick to it. Many of the times we don't do this is because we feel uncomfortable when it comes to taking action. We feel resistance show up the moment we are about to do it. We convince ourselves that it's because I don't feel like doing it, but the truth is because the identity we are used to, the reality, the lifestyle that we are used to isn't this. This is a different way of living. That's why this feels unfamiliar, uncomfortable, and it feels like there's so much resistance there. The best way to understand this is you will never be ready to take action when it comes to you doing the things you haven't done before. Even something as simple as you waking out of bed and implementing one simple thing every single day will feel extremely challenging. Now, so many people have convinced themselves, oh, it's because that thing that I'm doing isn't because I want to really do it. I don't think I want to really do this. That's why I'm struggling to show up. But the truth is, even when you pick the very thing that you dream of, your purpose, your calling, you'll still see the same results. And then that's when you start wondering what is really going on here. Most of us, we have a plan, but we do nothing. Why? It's because the resistance, the fear of change is actually paralyzing us from doing anything. Because why? We are used to the story, the identity that we can't do what it is that we want to do. You know, you're used to the identity of wanting rather than actually having the very reality that you want. So therefore, most people actually, that resistance that's showing up is the resistance of change. It's not the resistance of actually doing it. Because why? After you do it, you're going to very much feel accomplished and grateful for doing it. Regardless, like, right, going to the gym, going for a walk, no matter how big or small it is, it's like you're going to be grateful that you stuck to your plan. So the sense of accomplishment is what you should really be seeking for, rather than, oh, I need to do this, then I need to do that. No, it's just about you simply saying what you want to do and keeping your word to do it. So it's not step, but the second way we do it is, once we self-sabotage, once we don't show up for what we want to do, we end up shaming ourselves or judging ourselves for not being able to show up. This is one of the cycles, one of the habits that keep you stuck in that reality, that identity. Instead of, what most of us do is when we can't show up, we beat ourselves up for it. Literally, we shame ourselves, judge ourselves for it. We're not capable, we don't want it enough, there's something wrong with us. All of these thoughts are simply more baggage. Like, the best way to approach that situation is to simply say, okay, how can I make a difference tomorrow? How can I make things different for myself tomorrow? Rather than be like, you know what, I can't show up, man. I keep struggling. You need to be able to forgive yourself. You need to be able to understand that you are basically dealing with resistance here. And the way you're dealing with that resistance is the way you have been dealing with resistance in your life. So now that you are going after what you want, the resistance will naturally be there. So judging yourself, shaming yourself for not doing so is it's a waste of energy. Like, you're literally using up energy to judge yourself, to shame yourself. Instead of doing that, just make the decision, okay, I haven't stuck to the plan. In fact, I'm going to let it go fully. Tomorrow is a new day and I'm going to practice that tomorrow from the morning. That is a better approach, because why? Every thought and decision we make uses a level of energy within our brains, right? And every morning you only have certain amount of energy to make decisions. That's why it's better to make a plan the night before you execute it in the morning. that is literally something that has changed my life. So if some of you guys are watching this, I would say prepare as much as you possibly can tonight, and try to follow the plan tomorrow. Make it easy for yourself. If you notice yourself even struggling to get out of bed, just simply make the practice of getting out of bed and doing one thing, and then see how you feel. Go with the flow, but start implementing things step by step. What many of us do is we try to build a massive list of things we want to do, and that's why we can't show up even for one of them. So the third way we self-sabotage is understand parts work. The brain is a construct. The ego is a construct of multiple aspects of ourselves, meaning there's multiple personalities that exist within us. Every single moment in our life that we went through any form of trauma, shame, or guilt, there was a split that was created within the mind to help you cope with that reality. So meaning if you experience a lot of trauma around money, you most likely create a part of you that resents money. And now that you are a fully grown adult and you're trying to create your own business, you might notice that there's this resentment there when it comes to you making money, or you asking for money, or you even looking at your own bank account. You feel this feeling that comes up. And this is what you have to understand. So many of us might have a plan of implementing steps towards making money at that point, and we can't show up. We can't do it. It's because there's a resistance there that we don't fully understand. So what's really happening here is that you say you want something consciously, but subconsciously you are saying money equals pain. So it's like understanding that resistance is very important for you to also understand. So as you go towards what you want, as you show up for what you want and your business and your relationships, whatever it may be, understand that the resistance is a message that you need to understand. I'm saying understand so many times, but the resistance carries a message. The more you can understand the resistance, the easier your journey will become, because as you clear that energy out within the body, it becomes easier for you to show up, and you almost show up in a natural way without having to force yourself so much. And this goes deeper. That's why there's an episode called 5 Ways to Master the Ego. I want you to check it out. There'll be a tab up here that will recommend this video. If not, check the end of the video or check the link down below. There will be a link there for you. Now, you have to understand how the mind really works here. Your greatest limitation is the thoughts that you have on a day-to-day basis. If that reality was here, you wouldn't have to let go of certain thoughts because they no longer make sense. So you might think you want something, but subconsciously you might be afraid of the very thing that you do want. So as you let go of that resistance, the journey gets easier. But for you to show and see the resistance, you have to make an intention to go towards what you want, because then the resistance will show up for you there. So the fourth way we self-sabotage is we convince ourselves that we are not ready yet. You see, one thing I've learned through my whole journey is you will never be ready for change. You will never be ready. The feeling that you're waiting for, that natural feeling that will come up, the only way for you to know what's actually in your way is to go after what you want. You actively, this is probably the one part that you really need to gain all the courage that you have and take that brave step. You take that step towards your life, the dreams that you want to create, the goals that you set for yourself is so critical. It might not even be your dreams. It might be just work, just waking up on time, working out. And, it's the littlest things that matters the most. So it's understanding that you telling yourself you're not ready is just you simply submitting and surrendering to the resistance that is keeping you where you are. If you haven't watched the video How to Master the Ego, go and check that out, because I break the mind down fully there so you can understand how your mind will do whatever it can to keep you where you are. So the fifth way we self-sabotage is go after what you want and the resistance will meet you there. Basically what I've been saying is the fifth way we self-sabotage, or I wouldn't say the fifth way, I'll say more like the way you can overcome self-sabotage is go towards what you want. Whatever will be in your way will show up, and all you need to do is simply, when the intense resistance shows up, write about it, speak to someone about it, but keep going. You see, many people think, oh no, but Minaz, I don't feel good. How can I keep going if I don't feel good? This is where it matters even more. Keep pushing forward, because it's not the treasure that will change your life, but it's who you become the moment you step into that cave that will change your life. So let me repeat the whole quote that I always tell every single one of my students. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek, but it's not the treasure that will change your life, but it's who you become the moment you step into that cave. Many of us get obsessive and, caught up with the idea of it's the treasure that I'm seeking for. But the truth is, what really changes your life is because of who you had to embody and become the moment you went after what you wanted. Now, this identity that you end up creating when you go after what you want, you start using that in other areas of your life. So when you go after your fears, your dreams, your goals, you start embodying those strengths that you unlocked into every area of your life. This is something that has happened with myself and on every single one of my students that I've worked with. So let's quickly conclude this episode. But before we do, I want to quickly announce that I'm looking for 10 new students to join me in Quantum Leap. Now, I am offering 50% off for the next 10 students that sign up to my program. If you haven't seen a testimonial, check down below and check up here. There'll be a testimonial of my last student who finished the program off with me. Now, many of my students not only finished Quantum Leap, but they're also going to Quantum Leap Boss, QLB, where I help them create their own coaching business. Because many of you guys that are watching this have this calling, this desire to not only just do this, just like myself. I used to watch other people doing the same thing and I used to think, I want to do the same thing that you do. In fact, when I first joined my first ever program with my coach, which was back like 5-6 years ago, my coach asked me a question, Minaz, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do what you're doing. And here I am. So if you feel like you have that calling, not only do my students finish Quantum Leap, majority of them, 95% I would say, go finish Quantum Leap and they go straight into Quantum Leap Boss, because they also want to create a life that they live on their terms, create a business on their terms, not just living a life, chasing, climbing up the corporate ladder. That is not for us. If you're watching this, then this is for you. And if you want to resonate and you want to see what Quantum Leap is about, I'm offering 50% off for the next 10 students. After that, doors will be closed. Prices will be going back up as they would normally do. And yeah, I'm looking for 10 students because I want to create some success stories. I want to get things moving again for my business, for myself, for my life. And I want to create some massive success stories. So if you're one of those people that want to change your life, make sure you go and watch the recent testimonial of one of my students, Tuck, and, see if you resonate. If you resonate, be quick, because by the time I let these videos out, they're going to be going quick because they're 50% off, which is massive price cut. So if you are that person, send me a message or drop, in the bio, there's a link. Press the link, book a call with me I need to drink some water. Book a call with me and see how I can help you. Now, to conclude this episode, we make plans, but yet we do nothing to show up for them. Usually we convince ourselves it's because we're not ready, we don't feel good enough. But the truth is, the resistance is just the resistance of the changes that we are about to make in our lives. It's not really the thing we're going after, because even if you are going after your dream or your desires, your purpose, your calling, you notice the resistance show up. That's when it will hit you like a brick. Oh, it was never really about what I was doing, but it was just me embodying the identity of me showing up for what I say I'm going to do. Number 2, we beat ourselves up and we judge and shame ourselves. This is something that just takes energy for no reason. Now, if you are judging and shaming yourself and you're like, Minat, that's just how I am, you need to look deeper into this, because this might be based on trauma. You might have been judged and shamed as a child for not doing the things you said you was going to do, not showing up for school, your work, your homework, whatever it was. Now you carry this habit on, even though your parents might not be doing that for you, or your carers, whoever raised you up as a child. You start embodying that. Now, not only do you not show up for your work, you judge yourself, abuse yourself for not doing it. So this identity of just constant pain and trauma and suffering just exists because you're not really healing your heart and letting go of the pain that your body is carrying. Number 3, there is a part of you that doesn't want it. Most of us want to go after something, but because sometimes when the resistance is constantly there, even when you're showing up, you're doing this work, but you're still not enjoying it. It doesn't get easier. Most of the time, that's because there's resistance there. There's something else there that we're not really looking at. Meaning there's some deeper wounds there. Meaning most of the time we don't really want to do what we're doing. Does that mean we don't want that in our life? No, you might. Let me give you a good example. Money that we just spoke about. Most of us want to be financially free, but we might have experienced a childhood around poverty and relationships around our parents constantly fighting over money. So now that we are old enough, we want to create financial freedom in our lives, and we're constantly struggling to create that, because deep down there's a part of us, within the mind, that is resenting the idea of money, because money equals pain. So you have to go after what you want. Heal your relationship with the money first before you expect abundance to come through. So if you want to know how you can do that, this is what Quantum Leap is about. That is why I want you to click the link down below. 50% off for the next 10 students. Make sure you're there. So yeah, go and watch my video on how to master the ego for you to truly understand what that means when you're feeling resistance towards what you want. You're going after it, but you just can't seem to show up. Most of the time it's because there's a part of you that doesn't want it. Does that mean you abandon ship and not go after money? No. It means you heal the relationship you have. You come to an understanding of why you are the way you are, and then you can go after it in a whole different way and a more efficient way. So yeah, the last thing I want to leave you with is keep going. Don't stop. Make a plan tonight, make a plan and show up tomorrow morning. Just one thing at a time. Small things, even for myself. Like, I haven't been active for a while, so me even implementing all of this stuff is challenging, yo. It's challenging. Even though I love this stuff, I love doing this. This is my calling, my purpose. It's challenging. So it's not what you're going after. It's more about creating the idea, the identity, the habits, the personality, the energy, and really just going after the life that you dream of. And I hope this inspired you guys. And like I said, 50% off for the next 10 students. So if that's you, I want to see you soon. Click the link down below, book a call with me, and I'll see you guys soon. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Drop a comment down below telling me what resonated with you the most, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace and love. Assalamu alaikum.